So what do you think, Matt?
Andy, the first thing I think I do is I get rid of Jim O'Neill. I scrap this defensive system, and I find a coach that knows what a legitimate run-stopping defense is.
Can you do that mid-season, though?
I go back to 4-3. You can't do it won't be a smooth transition, but they've got enough defensive linemen and they've got enough linebackers where you could switch to a 4-3 and make everything a little bit better. I think more guys at the line of scrimmage will definitely help this Browns team. They just don't have enough up front with 3 defensive linemen to make any sort of adjustment against the run and to stop it. It's embarrassing, and it is who they are. They give up yards on the ground, and I don't care what Jim O'Neill or what Mike Pettin has to say. When the proof is in the pudding, You give up 150 yards 13 times in 23 games. It's who you are. It is absolutely, without question, who you are, and you need to make a change. And personally, it's going to be an ultimatum situation, in my opinion. It's going to be Jimmy Haslam and Ray Farmer saying, you've got to let Jim O'Neill go or you're gone too. And personally, I think that might actually happen sooner rather than later, because it is absolutely asinine to think that this can go on any further. Jim O'Neill is not a professional coach. I mean, he may be professional in his approach, but he's not a coach in the NFL because he refuses to make adjustments. And I'm not saying it's all on him, but his players are not making the necessary adjustments and doing what is necessary to be successful on the field. So clearly they've tuned him out, and it's time to get a new voice in the room.
Well, my problem is that, all right, this is Mike Pettin's system, which came from Rex Ryan's system. So Mike Pettin said the system has worked, but that was as with him at the helm, and it worked in Buffalo. The difference is you had 4 elite guys or 3 elite guys up front, and were able to shuffle people around. And with Jim O'Neill, I don't question the man's work ethic, but let's call a spade here, Matt. The dude only has a job because he went to school with Mike Pettin and played for Pettin's dad. They're buddies. Like, this is all right. If you want to have your buddy as an assistant linebacker coach, okay, maybe that's fine. But as a defensive coordinator, he's clearly failed. So I like that. I like what you say. Get rid of O'Neill, and I guess Pettin would have to take over midseason. Here's my first move. I'm owner of the Browns today. I get one move. It's Monday after this loss. I've had enough. I say, Jimmy, step aside. I'm taking control of things here. All right. I call Ray Farmer into my office. I say, you put this trash together. The one receiver you have who is above 6 feet, who is actually playing, is Gary Barnidge. And is actually playing well is Gary Barnidge. That shows me big guys who can catch balls makes a lot of sense. You have put together a horrendous roster. You built this on defending the run and running the ball. You can do neither. You have done neither all season. There is zero sign that this is turning around. This is not a hiccup. This is not one poor game. You combined for 82 yards, 21 of which came from Josh McCown. Ray Farmer, you're fired. Get out of this building. Oh, by the way, you embarrassed the organization for being suspended for the TextGate scandal. And Matt, the reason I want this done now is because Ray Farmer is still in charge of scouting for the draft. That horrifies me. He is still in charge. If you fire him at the end of the year even, the work, season-long work, has been done to scout guys to fit whatever, in quotation, system this is. And it's horrible. So Ray Farmer, you're gone. Get somebody in who can, a veteran guy who can kind of direct the ship, and then have a complete philosophy meeting and try to sort it out from there and figure out what you want to be. Because Ray Farmer, you put this junk together. Coaching staff not off the getting penalized and getting blamed by any stretch, but Ray Farmer put this together, Matt. That's where I stand.
Ray Farmer has no business being allowed near another draft board ever with the Browns. He has proven that his guys are not worthy of being on an NFL field and contributing to a team. Look at all the impact guys that he was supposed to bring in. A single darn one of them are even on the field, much less making an impact. Justin Gilbert can't get on the field defensively. Johnny Manziel only gets on the field when Josh McCown pulls an Evel Knievel and gets hurt. Cameron Irving only got on the field yesterday because they were willing to try something different. And Danny Shelton only is on the field for the first 2 downs of a drive because he is not a good pass rushing defensive tackle, and they need some sort of pass rush to at least make it appear that they know what they're doing on defense.
Yeah.
So that's 4 first-round picks. You went over, my friend, and I'm expected to let you run with another draft? Are you out of your mind?
Oh, why?
No, I'm not even going to trust you with sharp objects, much less another draft.
Put the scissors down, Ray. No, this is not happening.
And then you go to his free agent signings, and I can tell you, the first play, they show Jimmy O on the sideline, and who's right behind him? That's Dwayne Bowe. What is Dwayne Bowe wearing? Not a helmet, not pads, but glasses that are probably worth more than my annual salary. With the gold and diamond studs on them.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Not playing, inactive, healthy scratch once again. And this whole notion of, well, it's a long season and Dwayne's going to be important for I don't give a crap. You don't pay someone $9 million and then deactivate them week after week after week after week. This was pretty much a hometown handshake, wink, wink, nod, nod deal, knowing that, hey, you don't have anything left in the tank. I know it, but I appreciated the hell out of what you did for me in Kansas City, and you got me this job, so I'm going to reward you with a contract. And that may be the death nail in Ray Farmer's coffin as a general manager in this league. He does not belong in the big room making all the decisions, none of which have panned out. Brian Hartline hasn't panned out. Dwayne Bowe hasn't panned out. Josh McCown has resulted in 1 victory and more than 1 concussion, allegedly. And nothing has worked out. None of the people he has brought in has had an impact. Gary Barnes was brought in by Rob Chudzinski. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's not something you can check off on your list. Hey, I got him a playmaker, because no, you didn't. That was brought in by a previous regime that survived a couple of coaching staffs now. So you can't take credit for that. Can't take credit for the offensive lineman because Joel Bitonio was your pick, but Mitchell Schwartz, Alex Mack, John Greco, and Joe Thomas, all here before you made any pick for the Browns. Okay? Then you look at the defensive side of the football. Desmond Bryant, Paul Kruger, brought in before your time. Okay? You were an assistant when those guys were brought in, but you weren't the guy writing or signing the contract to make things official. And then you look at the guys you have brought in. You let DeQuell Jackson walk for Carlos Dansby. Okay, you made a slight upgrade.
Yeah.
You let T.J. Ward walk for Dante Whitner. You downgraded, and you got older. Every position that you added, you got older rather than younger because you went with experience, and it hasn't panned out.
They wanted Matt to try to change the culture to bring in winners like Dansby, like Whitner. Clearly, that has not happened. Now, you mentioned one guy, and hey, we haven't really touched on it, that Johnny Manziel is going to play next week, Matt. Johnny Manziel is actually going to play. I'm pretty happy about that because now we get to see finally, we hope, fingers crossed, hey, barring NFL suspensions and this and Josh making a miraculous comeback. Doesn't even matter to me now if Josh McCown's healthy or not. You're done. We know what you are. We knew what we thought you were, and you proved to be that. You're a gutsy guy, good leader. You said you were fine being a backup. Time to do that. Johnny Manziel may come in and be an absolute piece of trash on the field, Matt. He might be terrible. But at least then you'll know you have to draft a quarterback. Or he comes in, maybe the dude balls out, maybe gets you a couple extra wins, and you think, hey, all right, there's a little bit of hope. So 1 plus looking forward, 1 positive that maybe the home crowd can get behind next week when they play the Arizona Cardinals. Super Bowl favorites in some people's eyes, is that you get to see Johnny Manziel. That's, I think, at least one positive.
Oh, it depends on your side of the story. I'm not exactly, leading the parade saying, hey, this kid's going to be great. First of all, he's going up against a killer team that is pretty good. Secondly, I didn't like hearing that his focus had dwindled when he wasn't named the starter. I understand being disappointed, but you still can't allow that to happen. Whether it be true or not, is yet to be seen. And we'll see it pretty quick quickly against Arizona if his focus was there for the last 6 weeks. But, we'll see what this kid can do. I don't just want to see him. I want to see, if he's able to be on the field, because the situation off the field may determine whether he can play or not. I think it's time to see if Justin Gilbert can really play corner in this league.
Yeah.
Pierre Desir is a great story, and he may have it down the road, but it is time to see. It's time to see all of Ray Farmer's draft picks to see how awful or how smart he actually was drafting players. And the fact that it's taken 2 years to get his first 2 draft picks on the field, and it more than likely will take another 2 years to have them be impactful with Shelton and Irving, mind you. It's not a good look. You don't have that kind of time in this league. This is a not-for-long league, okay? This is a what-have-you-done-for-me-lately league.
They've done nothing.
And Ray Farmer's track record isn't too great. So
no.
You might want to start forcing the coaching staff to get your guys in there to see what they can do. And if they can't do anything, then you know right away that it's done.
Yeah.
It's over.
You know it is done. You're listening to The Doghouse, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns, presented by SportsInteraction.com. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Matt Florjancic. Get us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. Question of the day. You're the Browns owner. Come in Monday. Disappointed, obviously, angry after that 24-6 loss. Fan base is disenchanted. What do you do? What's your one move? Matt said get rid of the defensive coordinator. I say get rid of the GM. Where do you weigh in? We'll get to your replies in the Barkov a little bit later on. But, hey, it was also some action in the AFC North, and actually one more game today. So let's get to From the Shotgun. And we're going to start with, Matt, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're not going away. They are somehow able to. You know what? Damn it! The phone's with it. We're gonna have to. Can we scrap the second one and do it and do it again the second half?
The whole thing?
Yeah, just the second half.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Okay, I'll call you back.
Okay.
Hello. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Yourself? Good man. Sounds good.